What if the grand events of human history, wars, revolutions, economic shifts, and the rise and fall of global empires aren't driven by brilliant kings, legendary generals, or solitary geniuses, but by millions of small, uncontrollable actions taken by ordinary human beings every single day? What if the secret to a meaningful life isn't found in relentless ambition, social status, or high-minded intellectual theories, but in learning how to accept reality, embrace love, and live fully in the present moment? Welcome to Book Essence, where we unlock the essence of every book so you get the wisdom without spending weeks reading. Today, we are breaking down War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, an epic masterpiece that blends history, philosophy, and unforgettable character journeys to uncover what truly drives human destiny. Let us unlock it. To understand the emotional heart of War and Peace, you have to follow the life of Pierre Bezukhov, one of literature's most relatable figures. At the start of the epic, Pierre is an awkward, socially clumsy, illegitimate son of a wealthy count. Suddenly inheriting a vast fortune, he finds himself surrounded by fake friends, manipulative aristocrats, and an unhappy arranged marriage. Pierre spends years desperately searching for meaning. He tries high society indulgence, throws himself into esoteric philosophy and Freemasonry, attempts political reform on his estates, and even imagines he is destined to assassinate Napoleon. Yet every intellectual theory and external goal leave him feeling empty, disillusioned, and lost. It is only when Pierre is captured by the French army, stripped of his wealth and forced to endure extreme physical suffering during the brutal Russian winter, that his true transformation begins. Through a simple peasant prisoner named Platon Karatayev, Pierre learns that true happiness is not something you chase in books or status. It is an internal state that exists when you accept life as it is, appreciate basic needs, and love the world around you. Pierre's journey proves that peace is found not by mastering the external world, but by quietly mastering yourself. In sharp contrast to Pierre stands his brilliant, aristocratic best friend, Prince Andrei Bolkonsky. Andrei is cold, cynical, and utterly disgusted by the shallow vanity of Russian high society. He seeks escape through military glory, dreaming of achieving his own Toulon, a singular moment of heroism like Napoleon Bonaparte that will immortalize his name in history. Andrei leaves his pregnant wife and marches into the Napoleonic Wars, but his romantic illusions of glory are shattered at the bloody Battle of Austerlitz. Wounded and left lying on the battlefield, looking up at the vast, silent blue sky, Andrei experiences a profound awakening. Looking at the sky, he realizes that his idol, Napoleon, is a tiny, insignificant man, and that all human ambitions for fame, power, and glory are meaningless vanities compared to the infinite nature of existence. When he returns home, he vows never to serve in the military again and turns his focus inward. Though Andrei's path is marked by heartbreak, loss, and ultimately a mortal wound at the Battle of Borodino, his story delivers a timeless lesson. Chasing ego and social applause will always leave you hollow, while love, forgiveness, and quiet acceptance bring ultimate redemption. While Pierre represents the searching mind and Andrei represents the analytical spirit, Natasha Rostova represents the pure, unfiltered joy of living. Young, vibrant, impulsive, and deeply intuitive, Natasha possesses a natural energy that transforms everyone around her. She lives entirely in the moment, whether she is singing, dancing a traditional Russian folk dance, or falling passionately in love. She acts from instinct rather than cold calculation. However, her intense passion and innocence also make her vulnerable. She makes a devastating mistake by falling for a manipulative seducer, shattering her engagement with Prince Andrei and bringing deep shame upon herself. Yet Tolstoy uses Natasha to show the power of psychological resilience and emotional renewal. Through deep grief, repentance, and selfless care for others during the French invasion of Moscow, Natasha matures into a deeply grounded, loving woman. She embodies the truth that human beings are meant to feel, make mistakes, heal, and love again. Life is not a rigid mathematical equation, it is a dynamic, living force. Beyond the intimate personal dramas of its characters, War and Peace is a fierce philosophical attack on how historians view power. Tolstoy passionately refutes the great man theory, the popular belief that history is shaped by the genius and willpower of individual leaders like Napoleon Bonaparte or Alexander I. Tolstoy portrays Napoleon not as a military mastermind, but as an arrogant, delusional man who believes he is directing events when he is actually just a puppet of circumstance. Napoleon issues orders on the battlefield, but dust, fog, noise, panic, and individual decisions by soldiers on the ground render those orders completely meaningless. Instead of great men, Tolstoy presents the historical philosophy of determinism and the integration of infinitesimals. History is the collective sum of millions of tiny, unconscious decisions made by ordinary human beings. A peasant deciding to burn his grain, a soldier deciding to run or stand, a local officer making a quick choice. True leadership, as shown through the wise Russian general Kutuzov, is not about forcing your will onto the world. It's about recognizing the natural flow of events, remaining patient, trusting the spirit of the people, and stepping back to let organic forces work. Tolstoy's deliberate contrast between war and peace extends far beyond battlefield military operations versus quiet domestic life. War represents artificiality, chaos, arrogance, and the destructive illusion that humans can control complex systems through force, rigid plans, and pride. War occurs when people lose touch with nature, moral truth, and empathy. Peace represents the organic, natural rhythm of life: family, nature, genuine relationships, productive work, and spiritual harmony. During the burning of Moscow and the harrowing retreat of the French army, Tolstoy shows that formal human institutions, legal contracts, and military strategies break down completely. What survives is basic human kindness, moral courage, and communal solidarity. Living in peace means aligning yourself with the natural order of the universe, rather than trying to bend reality to your ego. The happiest moments in the epic do not take place in luxurious royal courtrooms or strategic war cabinets, but in quiet family dinners, hunting trips in the countryside, and simple conversations under the stars. In the massive second epilogue of the book, Tolstoy dives deep into the ultimate philosophical paradox. Do human beings actually possess free will, or are our lives governed by necessity? Tolstoy argues that every human action is a balance between these two forces. Free will is our internal feeling of freedom. In the present moment, we feel completely free to choose our next step, our thoughts, and our moral path. Necessity is the external reality. The moment an action is performed, it becomes bound by the laws of physics, genetics, history, geography, and social environment. The farther back we look at an event in history, the more inevitable it appears. The closer we look at ourselves in the present moment, the freer we feel. Tolstoy's profound conclusion is that true freedom does not mean we can control external historical outcomes. Your true freedom lies entirely in your internal moral choices, how you choose to respond to circumstances, whether you choose love over hatred, humility over pride, and truth over delusion. You may not control the wind of history, but you are entirely responsible for how you set your own sails. Let us bring together the greatest lessons from War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Number 1, stop chasing external validation. Real peace and purpose are not found in wealth, political theories, or social status, but in simple living and internal acceptance. Number 2, surrender the illusion of total control. History and life are driven by complex, invisible forces. True wisdom lies in humility and adapting to reality, rather than forcing your ego upon it. Number 3, reject the great man myth. Real impact comes from collective human action, small everyday choices, and quiet moral duty rather than flashy titles. Number 4, embrace emotional resilience. Mistakes, heartbreak, and suffering are not the end of your story. They are the path toward emotional maturity and deeper love. Number 5, exercise your moral free will. You cannot dictate external global events, but you have absolute freedom over your character, your values, and how you treat others right now. Leo Tolstoy leaves us with an enduring truth. Life is infinite, beautiful, and deeply meaningful when we stop trying to master it and simply learn to live it with love, presence, and gratitude. That is the essence of War and Peace, and that's what we do here at Book Essence. We take the world's most powerful books and unlock their wisdom, so you can build something real, starting from exactly where you are. If this video brought you value, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a timeless perspective on life today. Every week on Book Essence, a new book, a new lesson, a new chance to grow. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, and keep unlocking your essence. See you in the next one.